Have you ever loved someone so much that you were willing to change everything about yourself? That's what I thought love meant, until I married a man whose culture demanded I give up my freedom, my style, and the woman I'd spent 28 years becoming. What happened next taught me the hardest lesson about love. Sometimes it's not enough. My name is Jade, and I grew up in New York City, Manhattan, to be specific. I was raised by a single mother who taught me that a woman's body is her own, that fashion is self-expression, and that freedom is everything. By 28, I'd built a life I loved. I was a fitness instructor and lifestyle influencer, with a growing following. I wore what I wanted, elegant dresses that showed my shoulders, my legs, the body I worked hard to maintain, and I lived unapologetically. I met Rashid at an exclusive fitness retreat in the Hamptons. He was there on business, staying at the resort, and wandered into my yoga class by accident. Tall, handsome, with warm brown eyes and an accent that made everything he said sound like poetry. After class, he approached me. "That was beautiful," he said. "The way you move, it's like meditation in motion." We talked for hours that day. He told me about his life in Dubai, his work in international real estate, his love of art and architecture. He was educated, worldly, respectful. He asked about my work, my dreams, my passions, and actually listened to the answers. Over the next 6 months, we fell in love. He flew to New York every other week. We explored the city together, ate at my favorite restaurants, walked through Central Park. He never once commented on my clothes, the sundresses I loved, the yoga outfits I wore, the elegant evening gowns with open backs and high slits. He seemed to love me exactly as I was. When he proposed on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset, I didn't hesitate. "Yes," I said, throwing my arms around him. 1,000 times yes. What I didn't know, what I was too in love to ask, was what being his wife would actually mean. We married in a beautiful ceremony that blended both our cultures. My side, a white dress with a sweetheart neckline and bare shoulders, dancing, champagne. His side, traditional Arabic music, formal attire, separate sections for men and women during parts of the celebration. I thought it was charming, exotic, a beautiful merging of two worlds. The problems started during our honeymoon in Dubai. "Habibti," Rashid said gently on our first morning there, using the Arabic term of endearment he'd taught me. "Before we go out today, I need to talk to you about something." I was getting dressed in a linen sundress, pale yellow, knee-length, with thin straps, perfect for the desert heat. "What's up?" "That dress," he said carefully. "It's beautiful, but here in Dubai, especially when we're with my family, you'll need to dress more conservatively." I looked down at my outfit. "This is conservative. It covers everything important. Your shoulders are bare, your arms. For my family, for our culture, it's not appropriate for a married woman." Something cold settled in my stomach. "What are you saying?" He opened the closet and pulled out several outfits I didn't recognize. Long-sleeved blouses, loose pants, flowing abayas, elegant but completely covering. "I had these made for you. Beautiful fabrics, designer quality. You'll still look stunning, just more modest." "Rashid, you never said anything about this before." "I know." He looked genuinely apologetic. "I should have, but I hoped you'd understand once you were here. Jade, I love you exactly as you are, but here in my world, there are expectations." I wanted to argue, but we were already late to meet his family. I put on one of the long-sleeved outfits. Beautiful, yes, but suffocating. As we drove to his parents' home, I kept tugging at the sleeves, feeling trapped in my own skin. His mother greeted me warmly, but assessed my outfit with approval. "Much better," she said in English. "A woman of dignity covers herself." I felt Rashid tense beside me, sensing my discomfort, but I smiled and said nothing. Over the next few weeks, I discovered there were many rules I hadn't known about. Rules Rashid had somehow failed to mention during our whirlwind romance. I couldn't go to the gym anymore, at least not the co-ed ones I was used to. "Women-only facilities," Rashid explained. "It's more comfortable for everyone." I couldn't post my usual content on social media. "People are watching now," he said. "You're married to me. Everything you do reflects on my family." I couldn't meet male friends alone, even for coffee. "It looks inappropriate," Rashid insisted. "Here perception matters as much as reality." I couldn't wear my favorite clothes, even inside our home when we had guests. My brothers visit, my father, it's disrespectful for them to see you in revealing attire. Each rule felt like a small death. I was a fitness instructor who couldn't showcase workouts, an influencer who couldn't share her lifestyle, a free spirit trapped in layers of fabric and expectations. One afternoon, I found myself crying in the enormous walk-in closet of our luxurious villa, surrounded by beautiful clothes I hated. My phone rang. My mother. "Sweetheart, I haven't seen you post anything in weeks. Are you okay?" "I'm fine, Mom." I tried to keep my voice steady. "Jade Marie, I raised you. Don't lie to me. What's going on?" The dam broke. I told her everything. The clothes, the rules, the suffocating feeling of losing myself piece by piece. "Then come home," she said. Immediately. "You don't have to stay there." "But I love him, Mom." "Does he love you?" she asked. "The real you? Or does he love a version of you he's trying to create?" I didn't have an answer. That night, I confronted Rashid. "We need to talk about these rules. I can't live like this." He sighed, running his hand through his hair. "Jade, I know it's an adjustment. An adjustment. Rashid, I'm not adjusting. I'm disappearing. Everything that makes me who I am. My work, my style, my freedom. You're asking me to give it all up." "I'm not asking you to give up who you are. I'm asking you to respect where we live, and the culture we're part of." "But this isn't my culture." My voice rose. "You knew who I was when you met me. You loved me in my sundresses and yoga pants. You followed me on Instagram, saw every post. You never said any of this would be a problem. Because in New York, it wasn't a problem." He was getting frustrated now. "But here we have responsibilities. My family, my business relationships, my reputation, they all depend on maintaining certain standards. So I'm supposed to be your accessory, your respectable covered-up wife, who makes you look good. That's not fair. None of this is fair." Tears streamed down my face. "I moved across the world for you. I left my business, my friends, my mother, and you're asking me to leave myself too." Rashid looked pained. "What do you want me to do? I can't change centuries of culture. I want you to defend me, to stand up for me, to tell your family that your wife dresses how she wants because you trust her judgment. It's not that simple." "It should be," I whispered. We didn't speak for 3 days. I tried to make it work. I really did. I wore the modest clothes. I attended the women-only gatherings where I felt like an outsider. I smiled at family dinners and stayed silent when Rashid's relatives made comments about modern women and proper behavior. But inside I was dying. 2 months after moving to Dubai, I received a message from my former business partner in New York. A major fitness brand wanted to collaborate with me on a campaign. The pay was incredible, the exposure even better. But the campaign was about body positivity, women embracing their strength, showing their bodies proudly in athletic wear. "I want to do it," I told Rashid that night. He looked up from his laptop. "Do what?" "This campaign. It's in New York. I'd fly back for 2 weeks, do the shoot, and come back." "What kind of campaign?" I showed him the concept photos. Women in sports bras and leggings, powerful and free. His face closed off immediately. "No." "What do you mean no?" "Jade, you can't do that shoot. Not anymore. You're my wife." Those photos would be everywhere. My family would see them, my business associates, everyone. "So, they're not inappropriate. They're athletic wear. This is my career. Rashid, your career is here now, with me." His voice was firm. "I've been patient, Jade. I've tried to help you adjust. But I can't have my wife posing half naked for the world to see." Something inside me snapped. "Half naked? I'm wearing the same thing I wore when you met me. You came to my yoga class. You saw me in leggings and a sports bra. You didn't seem to have a problem with it then. That was different. You weren't my wife then. So what? You trapped me. You made me fall in love with you, marry you, move here, and then told me I had to change everything about myself. I didn't trap you. You knew I was from a traditional culture. Traditional doesn't mean controlling." I was shouting now. "You can't lock me away like some possession, and call it tradition. This isn't love, Rashid. This is ownership." The look on his face, hurt, angry, defensive, told me everything I needed to know. He truly believed he was right. that his culture, his family's expectations, his reputation mattered more than my autonomy. I'm taking the job, I said quietly, and I'm staying in New York, indefinitely. Jade, I can't do this anymore. I can't be who you need me to be. I'm suffocating here. I flew back to New York the next day. Rashid didn't try to stop me, which somehow hurt more than if he'd fought for me. The city welcomed me back like an old friend, loud, chaotic, free. The photo shoot was liberating. For the first time in months, I wore what I wanted, moved how I wanted, existed as myself. But at night, alone in my old apartment, I cried, because I still loved him. God help me, I still loved him. 2 weeks later, Rashid came to New York. I met him at a coffee shop in Soho, neutral territory. I've been thinking, he said after we ordered, about everything you said, and you're right. I looked up, surprised. I asked you to become someone else, he continued. I told myself it was about respect and culture, but really I was afraid. Afraid that if you stayed yourself, free and beautiful and confident, people would judge me for not controlling my wife. I cared more about their opinions than your happiness. Rashid, let me finish. He reached across the table. I can't change where I'm from, or the expectations of my family, but I can change how I respond to them. I've told my parents that if they can't accept you as you are, clothes, career, all of it, then we won't be visiting as often. I've told them you're not a possession, or a reflection of me. You're my partner, and I'm proud of every fierce, independent part of you. Tears filled my eyes. But what about Dubai? What about your business, your reputation? Dubai is changing, he said. It's becoming more progressive every year, and my reputation should be built on my own integrity, not on controlling what you wear. Jade, I want you to come back, but if you do, it's on your terms. You dress how you want, you run your business, you live your life, and if people don't like it, that's my problem to handle, not yours. I wanted to believe him, but I'd been burned before. What if your family pushes back? What if they pressure you to make me change? Then I'll defend you, every single time, I promise. He pulled out his phone and showed me a post he'd made on his Instagram, a photo of me from the fitness campaign, powerful and strong in my athletic wear. The caption read, "Proud of my incredible wife for inspiring women everywhere to embrace their strength. Culture is beautiful, but it should never diminish someone's spirit." I read the comments, some supportive, some outraged. His mother's conspicuously absent. Your family saw this, yes, and I told them if they can't respect you, they don't respect me. Jade, I choose you, not the idea of you, not the version they want, you. It wasn't perfect. Going back to Dubai meant continued challenges, disapproving looks, whispered comments, but Rashid stood by his word. When his uncle criticized my outfit at a family dinner, Rashid politely but firmly told him it was inappropriate to comment on his wife's clothing. When a business associate suggested I should be more modest, Rashid ended the partnership. Slowly, painfully, we carved out a life that honored both his heritage and my identity. I still dress how I want, run my business, post my content. He still maintains his relationships and responsibilities. It's a constant negotiation, but now we're negotiating together instead of against each other. I learned that love isn't about changing yourself to fit someone else's expectations. It's about finding someone who loves you enough to challenge their own. Have you ever felt like you had to choose between love and yourself? Did you compromise, stand your ground, or walk away? There's no easy answer when cultures clash, when expectations collide with identity. I almost lost myself trying to be what someone else needed, and it took nearly losing everything to realize that real love doesn't ask you to disappear. It asks you to be more yourself, not less. What would you have done in my situation? Would you have stayed and fought, or left to find yourself again? Share your story, because I know I'm not the only woman who's faced this impossible choice.